Hi everyone, welcome. Thanks for being here. If you're new here, my name is Phil. I appreciate you stopping by to check out this video. Today we're going to explore what Yamaha has to offer for 2025. Just a reminder that I'm based in the US, so all my lineup videos are showing what's available in the US. In the Kawasaki 2025 lineup video, I mentioned that Kawasaki was at the bottom of the Japanese Big Four in terms of sales. That apparently isn't totally correct. Looking at sales globally, Kawasaki is at the bottom, but apparently in the US, Kawasaki is second in the Big Four behind Honda. So it definitely depends on which market you're looking at. Globally, Yamaha is second out of the Big Four, but in the US, it looks like it's probably going to be third this year, behind Honda and Kawasaki, if the sources and numbers I'm finding online are correct. Anyway, let's dig into the lineup and see what we have. Unfortunately, Yamaha does not have any horsepower or torque settings on their website. As usual, we're going to do the off-road bikes first. We'll begin with the trail bikes. MSRP prices on all the trail bikes are the same as the 2024 models. Starting at the bottom of the youth bikes is the PW50. PW50 has a 49cc two-stroke engine with automatic transmission. Shaft drive on this bike, it has a half-gallon tank, 10-inch wheels, and an 18.7-inch seat height, and weighs 90 pounds. MSRP is $18.50. The other kid's bike is the TTR50E with a 49cc four-stroke with automatic transmission. Chain drive on this, 0.8 gallon tank, still 10-inch wheels, 21.9-inch seat height, and weighs 128 pounds. MSRP is $1,900. Moving up to the TTR110E, we have a 110cc four-stroke, four-speed engine with a 1-gallon tank, 14-inch front wheel and 12-inch rear wheel, 26.4-inch seat height, and weighs 159 pounds. MSRP is $2,450. All three of these bikes have drum brakes, both front and rear. Next is the TTR125LE with the 124cc 5-speed. Comes with a 1.6 gallon tank, 19-inch front wheel and 16-inch rear wheel, 31.7-inch seat height, and weighs 198 pounds. Rear wheel still has drum brakes, front wheel now has disc brakes. MSRP is $3,600. Last of the trail bikes is the TTR230. 223cc 6-speed, 2.1 gallon tank, 21-inch front wheel and 18-inch rear wheel, 34.3-inch seat height, and weighs 251 pounds. Still drum brake on the back. MSRP is $4,700. Moving now to the competition off-road bikes, we'll start with the Motocross Youth. Starting with the YZ65, this has a 65cc two-stroke, 6-speed engine, 0.9 gallon tank, 14-inch front wheel and 12-inch rear wheel. Seat height is 29.7 inches. This weighs 134 pounds. MSRP is $4,500. This is down $300 from last year. This is the only price change for the motocross bikes. The rest are the same as 2024. Next is the YZ85 with the 85cc two-stroke, 6-speed engine, 1.3 gallon tank, 17-inch front and 14-inch rear wheels. Seat height is 33.1 inches. This weighs 161 pounds. MSRP is $5,000. The YZ85LW has the same engine but has a 19-inch front wheel and 16-inch rear wheel. Seat height is 34.8 inches. Weight is 165. MSRP is $5,200. That's it for the youth motocross. Next in the lineup is the YZ125, 125cc two-stroke 6-speed, 1.8 gallon tank, 21-inch front, 19-inch rear, 38.6-inch seat height, and weighs 209 pounds. MSRP is $7,100. For $200 more, you can get the Monster Edition paint scheme on this. I believe the Monster Edition paint scheme is $200 extra on all the bikes where it is available. The YZ250 has a 249cc two-stroke, 5-speed, still the 1.8 gallon tank, 21 and 19-inch wheels, 38.4-inch seat height, weighs 227 pounds. MSRP is $8,000. Monster Edition is also available here. The YZ250F has a 250cc four-stroke engine, still 5-speed, slightly smaller tank at 1.6 gallons. Same 21 and 19-inch wheels, slightly lower seat at 38.2 inches, and weighs 231 pounds. MSRP is $8,900. Monster Edition is again available for $91. The YZ450F has a 450cc 4-stroke 5-speed engine, 1.6 gallon tank, 21 and 19-inch wheels, 38-inch seat height, and weighs 240 pounds. MSRP is $10,000 with the monster paint scheme available. That is it for motocross. We move on to cross country. First up is the YZ125X with a 125cc 2-stroke 6-speed, 1.8 gallon tank, 21-inch front and 18-inch rear, 38.2-inch seat height, and 212 pounds of weight. $7,200 for this bike, same as last year. The YZ250X has the 249cc 2-stroke 5-speed with a 1.8 gallon tank, same 21 and 18-inch wheels, 38.4-inch seat height, and weighs 229 pounds. MSRP is $8,100, also the same as last year. The 4-stroke version is the YZ250FX. This has a 6-speed transmission and a 2.1 gallon tank. Same wheels, seat height goes down to 37.6 and weight goes up to 243. Price is $9,100. This is up $100 from last year. The YZ450FX is the last cross-country bike with a 450 4-stroke 6-speed 2.1 gallon tank. Same wheels, same 37.6-inch seat height, and weighs 251 pounds. MSRP is $10,200, same as last year. We have two Enduro bikes. We start with the WR250F with a 250cc 4-stroke 6-speed with a 2-gallon tank, 21 and 18-inch wheels, 37.6-inch seat, and weighs 249 pounds. Price is $9,100, also up $100 from last year. The other Enduro is the WR450F with the 450cc 4-stroke 5-speed. Everything else is the same as the 250 except for the weight, which goes up about 9 pounds to 258. Price is $10,200, same as 2024. Next up are the dual sports. First is the TW200 with a 196cc 5-speed engine, 1.8 gallon tank, 18-inch front wheel and 14-inch rear wheel, 31.1-inch seat height, and 278 pounds of weight. MSRP is $5,000, same as 2024. The other dual sport is the XT250. This has a 249cc 5-speed, 2.5 gallon tank, 21-inch front and 18-inch rear wheel. Definitely designed closer to the off-road bikes as far as styling goes. 32.7-inch seat height and weighs 291 pounds. Price is $5,500. This is up $100 from last year. Last of the off-road capable bikes is the Tenere 700. This is listed in the touring category, so I guess they consider this an adventure touring bike. This has a 689cc parallel twin engine, 4.2 gallon tank, 21 and 18-inch wheels, a tall 34.4-inch seat height, and weighs 459 pounds. Two colors. Price on this is $11,000, up $200 from last year. There is no Super Tenere in the lineup for 2025 at this point. We transition to the street-only bikes and start off at the low end with the scooters. Two scooters available from Yamaha. First is the Zuma 125. This has a 125cc automatic engine with a 1.6 gallon tank, two 12-inch wheels, a 30.9-inch seat height, and weighs 282 pounds. Estimated 100 mile per gallon fuel economy on this. Two color options. Price is $3,800 on either one. The other scooter is the X-Max. This is the one bike in the entire lineup that hasn't been updated with the 2025 model yet. Still the 2024 model with a 292cc engine for $6,200. We're going to move to the Sport Heritage category next. First up is the V-Star 250. 15 cubic inch 249cc 5-speed carbureted V-twin on this low-weight cruiser. 2.5 gallon tank, drum brakes on the rear on this bike, 27-inch seat height, and weighs 324 pounds. One color only. Price is $4,800, up $100 from last year. Next is the XSR 700. This has the 689cc parallel twin that we saw on the Tenere, 3.7 gallon tank, 32.9-inch seat height, and weighs 410 pounds. One color. MSRP is $8,600. This is a $300 price drop from last year. Continuing on to the Bolt R Spec with its 58 cubic inch 942cc 5-speed V-twin. This has a 3.4 gallon tank, a 19-inch front wheel, 27.2-inch seat height, and weighs 542 pounds. One color on this. Price is $9,000, up $100 from 2024. Next is the XSR 900 with an 890cc inline triple with a 3.7 gallon tank, 31.9-inch seat height, and weighs 425 pounds. This modern retro has a 5-inch TFT display, cruise control, riding modes, and a quick shifter. Two colors on this, both go for $10,600. This is up $300 from last year. Now we move to the street touring bike. Just one bike here with some changes from the past years. 2 years ago we had the Tracer 9 GT. 2024 we had the Tracer 9 GT Plus. Now for 2025 we have just the Tracer 9. This still has the 890 inline triple as last year's GT Plus. Same 5-gallon tank. Adjustable seat height is an inch higher this year at 33.3 or 33.9 inches. And weight is slightly less at 483 pounds. Just one color option. The big difference here is a drop in price of almost $4,000. The Tracer 9 is now $12,600 for 2025. Another big change is that at this point there is no FJR 1300 for 2025. I don't know if there will be more updates from Yamaha in the future for 2025, but at this point there's no FJR 1300 and no Super Tenere. Moving on to the Hyper Naked bikes, we have the same models as last year, starting with the MT-03. We have a 321cc parallel twin with a 3.7 gallon tank, 30.7-inch seat height, and 373 pounds of weight. Three colors on this, all for $5,000, same price as last year. Next up is the MT-07 with a 689cc parallel twin, same 3.7 gallon tank, 31.7 inches of seat height. This weighs 403 pounds, three colors, MSRP is $8,600, up $400 from 2024. The MT-09 is next with the 890cc inline triple, still a 3.7 gallon tank, 32.5-inch seat height, and weighs 425 pounds. Three colors, price is $10,800, up $200 from last year. The MT-09 SP has upgraded suspension, brakes, keyless ignition, and a special paint scheme. Same specs as the regular 09. This goes for $12,500, up $200 from last year. Next is the MT-10 with a 998cc inline 4.5 gallon tank, and a 32.9-inch seat height. This weighs 467 pounds and comes in just one color. For some reason the display on this is smaller at 4.2 inches. Most have a 5-inch display, don't know why this one is smaller. MSRP is $14,800, up $300 from last year. The MT-10 SP, like the MT-09 SP, has upgraded suspension, brakes, and paint scheme. Price is $17,300, up $300 from last year. We move on to the last category, the Super Sport category. We had 4 models last year. This year we have 5. We start with the YZF R3 with a 321cc parallel twin, 3.7 gallon tank, 30.7-inch seat height, and a weight of 373 pounds. Looks like the styling on the R3 has been redesigned a bit for this year. 3 colors, price is $5,500, same as last year. The R7 has the 689cc parallel twin. Tank size is a little smaller at 3.4 gallons, 32.9-inch seat height. This weighs 414 pounds. Apparently this is the most narrow of the Super Sport models. 2 colors, price is $9,200 on both, same as last year. Announcing a brand new model, the YZF R9. The R9 has the 890cc inline triple with a 3.7 gallon tank, 32.7-inch seat height, and a weight of 430 pounds. Comes in 3 colors. Price is $12,500. Next is the R1. This has a 998cc inline 4 with a 4.5 gallon tank, 33.7-inch seat height, and weighs 448 pounds. New for 2025 are winglets on the front fairing, inspired by the MotoGP bikes. 2 colors on this one. Price is $19,000. This is up $600 from last year. Last of the Yamaha bikes is the YZF R1M. This has most of the same specs as the R1, but the bodywork is all carbon fiber. It has racing suspension upgrades on it as well. It weighs 4 pounds more than the R1 at 452. Yamaha doesn't give engine power numbers, so I don't know if the engine has been tuned up to put out more horsepower or not. I would suspect so, but I do not know. So there's the entire Yamaha lineup as of right now. They dropped the Super Tenere and the FJR 1300 and added the R9. Tracer 9 has been dropped significantly in price. Other than that, nothing too exciting here as far as updates. Seems like in the US, Yamaha has been slimming down and simplifying their lineup over the past several years. They dropped the V-Star and Royal Star cruiser lineups a few years ago. The V-Star 250 is the only surviving bike from that. Now they dropped the FJR 1300, which I was under the impression was a highly rated and popular touring option for those who don't want to pay the monstrous price of an Indian or Harley. I know the big engine adventure bikes haven't been doing well here in the US, which might explain why they dropped the Super Tenere, but it's interesting that they have no engines over 1000cc at this point. Feel free to leave any comments on this. As always, please subscribe and thanks for watching.